You know how you sometimes look at your plant and just wish it could talk? Just tell you what it needs? Well, today we're diving into a project that does exactly that. We're combining some simple electronics and a bit of code to give a plant a real voice.
And I mean a literal voice. Just imagine your plant pot lighting up and actually saying, "Hey, I'm thirsty." This isn't some sci-fi movie. It's a real, buildable project that completely closes that communication gap between you and your leafy buddies.
Okay, so if you've ever owned a plant, you know this struggle, right? You're constantly playing detective. Is that leaf drooping a little? Is the soil too dry? But here's the thing. By the time we actually see those signs, the plant is already stressed out. We're basically just reacting to its silent plea for help, and often a little too late.
So, that brings us to the big question. How do we get ahead of the game? How do we stop being reactive plant parents and become proactive ones? I mean, how can we figure out what our plants need in real time before they even start showing those signs of distress? Well, the answer is this amazing thing, the talking plant pot. It's a seriously cool, high-tech solution that basically turns your quiet, passive plant into an active communicator. And the concept behind it is actually pretty straightforward. The pot has parts that let it feel what's going on around it, a tiny computer to think about what all that data means, and then a speaker to talk and let you know what it needs. So yeah, feel, think, and speak. That's the whole idea. All right, so how exactly does this pot think? Well, it's all down to a really clever mix of sensors and logic that gives the plant its intelligence. Let's break down how it all works. So to understand its little world, the pot has been given 3 key electronic senses, and each one is constantly keeping tabs on a super important part of the plant's health and well-being. And what's really brilliant is how it turns all that raw data into simple questions. The moisture sensor is basically asking, "Am I thirsty?" The light sensor is checking, "Is it too dark in here?" And the temperature sensor is wondering, "Am I too hot or too cold?" It's like this constant, silent health checkup happening 24/7. Okay, so you've got all this data coming in. What happens next? Well, that's where the ESP32 microcontroller comes in. This little chip is the brain of the whole operation. It grabs the info from all 3 senses, figures out what it all means, and then decides on the right response. And get this, the pot can communicate even without speaking. Before it ever says a word, it gives you a visual cue with a simple color code. Green, your plant is happy and healthy. Yellow means it's thirsty. Red for too hot, blue for too cold, and white if it's not getting enough sun. It's basically a mood ring for your plant. How cool is that? Okay, so we've got the logic down. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty and look at the actual hardware, the physical parts that make up the anatomy of this smart plant. And honestly, the list of parts isn't scary at all. You've got the ESP32 brain we talked about, the sensors for moisture, temp, and light, and then the parts that communicate back to you, a little speaker and that colorful LED ring. These are all super common, easy to get components for any kind of IoT project. But you know what the best part is? The price tag. This whole setup costs less than 900 Indian rupees. That is wildly affordable for a project that literally gives an object a voice. It really puts this kind of cool tech within reach for just about anyone. All right, now for my favorite part. We've gone over the how and the what. We've seen the theory, we've looked at the components. Now let's see how it all comes together. Let's see this talking plant in action. So picture this. The soil starts to get dry. The moisture sensor picks up on that, the LED ring glows yellow, and the speaker pipes up with, "I'm thirsty, please water me." Or maybe you stick it in a dark corner. The light sensor will trigger the white LED and "Hey, I need more light" message. Put it too close to a heater. The LED turns red and it'll let you know it's too hot for me. And of course, when everything is perfect, you get that nice, reassuring green glow and a happy little "I'm happy." But this is so much more than just a fun, quirky gadget. The technology powering this little pot has applications that go way, way beyond just one houseplant. I mean, think bigger for a second. You could scale this up for large-scale farming, monitoring soil health across an entire field. What about as an amazing hands-on science project for school and college students? Or you could even integrate it into your smart home system. It's a really powerful tool for both education and automation. And it all starts with this simple idea of letting a plant talk. And all of this really leaves us with one final big thought. We've just seen how a few simple sensors and a tiny computer chip can give a voice to a plant.
So it makes you wonder, right? If your plant can talk, what else in our world is just silently waiting for us to listen and maybe